Tailor Tales. We're about to enter chapter 13. Where the girl was like just bleeding the fuck out. Her, I don't know what SE means, but everything's a tad loud. Her eyes being closed like this is making me think like she has like hollowed eyes out, but it's not. I'm shocked. Chelsea stands with her blood on her hands. It's streaming down between her legs as well. The smell is suddenly overwhelming. What in the world happened to you? I asked, starting to panic at the sight of her. Just don't tell him. Are you pregnant? She says in a shaky voice. We need to call an ambulance. Hang on. I take my cell phone out of my purse. But suddenly Chelsea reaches out for my hands to stop me. Her bloody fingers wrap around my arms. No, please. Then everyone would know. She sounds genuinely frightened. No ambulance. You're bleeding. Where's it coming from? Where are you hurt? Chelsea releases my arm and steps away from me. Her legs and arms are shivering violently. I don't know. I just got horrible cramps, and Chelsea squeezes her eyes and doubles over in pain, dropping towards the floor. I quickly catch her and support her body. Okay, you definitely need to go to the hospital. I'm getting out of here. Even though Chelsea barely has strength left to stay on her feet, she still uses all her willpower to force herself to talk. No, I don't want anyone to see me like this, please. Tears start streaming down her face. As Chelsea lifelessly hangs onto my arms, her legs and hands covered in blood, I can only suspect she's delirious. You're obviously hurt and you need to go to the hospital. Chelsea shakes her head. No. No one can see me. No one can see me. She repeats indefinitely. Even though her request is stupid and we should be calling the ambulance straight away, I take in a deep breath and nod at her. She doesn't want anyone to see her like this. Alright, fine. I can respect that. Okay, will you go to hospital if I can smuggle you out without anyone seeing you? I offer. Chelsea uses all her strength to nod at me. Alright, I'll get you out. I let Chelsea hang on to me as I reach for my cell phone a second time. No, don't, she says weakly when she sees me dialing a number. Don't worry, it's not an ambulance. The phone rings a few times before the cab driver picks up. I give the driver the instructions to pick us up ASAP. After that, I dial another number. Caine picks up after a few rings. Michiko, are you stuck in the bathroom or something? Listen to me carefully. Something came up. What's wrong? I can barely hear you. I need to get out of the bathroom without anyone seeing me. Do you think you can cause a distraction around you so that all the eyes are on you? The hell are you talking about? I'm coming in. No, don't. Just please. I need you to make sure no one's looking at the bathroom. I don't understand. Just cause a distraction. It's important. Someone's hurt. I'll meet up with you outside, alright? Wait, did you say someone's hurt? I'll tell you later. For now, please just get people away from the bathroom. Fine. Caine hangs up the phone and I stare at the black screen mindlessly. What am I getting myself into? Chelsea really doesn't look great, still shaking on her bloodied legs. Let's wash your hands at least. We'll get you out of here soon. I managed to turn Chelsea around and get her to the sink. Squeakily, she rinses the blood from her hands. Suddenly, you hear a commotion from outside with people hollering and cheering. Oh, Caine's done something. Come on, Chelsea, let's move. I swing her arm around my neck and drag her out of the bathroom. Looking around to see if the coast is clear, and as everyone's moved away from the bathroom and are looking at something on the dance floor, the crowd is cheering, yelling, some laughing here and there. All I can think of is good luck, Caine. I drag Chelsea towards the exit as discreetly as possible. Since everyone's eyes are on the dance floor, no one spots us. Is he like breaking in a dance move or something? We wait outside on the curb. The taxi can't come here soon enough. Caine isn't here either. Chelsea is barely hanging on, only half conscious by now. I'm scared she's going to pass out or that something worse will happen. A long silent minute passes, my anxiety growing worse. Then I hear a flurry of footsteps behind me. I see Caine running away. Michiko, he calls out. He jogs up to us, then studies Chelsea, who's draped onto my side. What's going on, he asks. I don't know, I found her like this. She's bleeding. Caine finally notices blood and he jerks away in shock. Holy fuck. They called a taxi. Call a damn ambulance, you mean, Caine grunts. No ambulance, Chelsea whispers. She doesn't want to, I say. The fuck is wrong with you? You need to visit the hospital, Caine berates her. Chelsea is hurt and she doesn't need yelling at her right now. Caine, shut up. She's hurt and we don't know why, bro. Caine shuts his mouth, unable to argue with my logic. Fine, he grumbles. For a brief moment, no one speaks. The music in the club continues playing, people inside unaware of our situation. I'm not getting Thomas for you, Caine speaks up. What do you mean, I ask? Well, you wanted a distraction, so I created one. I run my hand through my hair, frazzled at what's happening. My brain is being overloaded with information. I don't have the energy to think about what Caine might have done in the club when I've got a half-dead Chelsea on my arm. Thankfully, the taxi pulls up to the curb. Come on, let's get you to the hospital. Caine, help me, will you? Caine goes to the other side with his help, and with his help, we lift Chelsea up and get her inside a taxi. Is she pregnant, bro? We're finally at the ER. Chelsea's perched on top of the bed being examined by a doctor. Can you tell me where it hurts? He asks Chelsea. Chelsea points at her stomach. Alright, lie down, please. Caine and I keep quiet as the doctor examines her. Because that was a hell of a lot of blood. Like, on her hands. Like, what were you doing, bro? When the doctor asks Chelsea to lift up her dress and grab Caine's arm. Time to give her some privacy. Caine nods and we both step away from the bed and out of the room. We sit down on one of the benches in silence. This is not how I expected my evening with Caine to end, in a hospital with the girl that bullies him in the room behind me. What's more surprising is that I actually helped her out, even though we don't exactly have the best track record with each other. What do you think is wrong with her? Asked Caine after a while. I'm not sure. I think maybe it's something to do with her period. Do girls really bleed that much? Caine asked, astonished. Sometimes, but I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Holy hell, that's just freaky. Caine shivers at the thought. She kept telling me not to tell Thomas, though. I wonder what that was all about. She's pregnant, bro. I look up at the fluorescent lights and take in a deep breath. This has been rather hectic. Bringing Chelsea here and now waiting for her. I feel like I need a distraction so I can calm my nerves. Caine? Caine turns toward me. What did you do in the club, I mean? He sounded like scared. Sheepishly, he rubs the back of his neck. He mutters something under his breath, but I'm unable to hear it. What? Say that again? I lean closer. Nothing, just dumped a drink on some dick, that's all. That cry was way bigger than just randomly spilling your drink on some guy, though. You dumped it on Thomas, didn't you? Maybe. I suddenly feel a little lighter. I give Caine a little tap on his shoulder with my hand, grinning at him. No way, I don't believe you, I say in a jest. I did. Not one, but two, he says eagerly. How did she even get out alive? I'm really good at running away, he boasts. I chuckle at him. That's nothing to brag about, silly. We share a laugh together, easing the tension in the air. You're full of surprises today, Caine. Why's that? Because I tossed a drink over that asshole? Yeah, I reply honestly. I didn't think you had it in you. Caine simply huffs at me, pretending to act cool all of a sudden. He remains quiet as I do. We stare at doctors passing us by, back and forth, still anxiously waiting for any news about Chelsea. A deep sigh lifts me from my thoughts. Didn't think I had the guts to do it either, Caine admits solemnly. Dreamt of it, sure. Fantasized about it, even worse things I could do to them. Whoa, bro. I mean, it's understandable, but not understandable at the same time, because, you know, no one should be bullied, and he shouldn't have to go through that shit. His eyes flicker back to mine. But actually do it? Nah. What changed? I slide my hair behind my neck, looking over at Caine. I don't know, he grumbles. Maybe because you asked. Me. I'm surprised he didn't attribute his newfound courage to me. I didn't do anything. Yeah, you. Caine then rolls his eyes at me. I didn't specifically tell you don't drink on anyone, though. Doesn't matter. Caine shoots me a cocky grin. He lowers his eyes to gaze at the hands resting on his lap. He takes a small breath. It feels nice to have someone depend on you, he says softly. His quiet admission that he likes it when I ask him for help has me feeling a little bashful. But seriously though, give me a heads up next time. I had no idea what was going on. For all I know, someone got murdered and I was helping you cover it up. Do you seriously think I could murder someone? I don't think Chelsea killed anyone. That's her own blood. Must have been freaky finding her like that. It was. It still is freaky, I admit. Can't believe I'm actually helping her. Especially after she called me a bitch the other day. Yeah, why do you care? Caine asks, clearly wanting to know my reason for helping Chelsea. I don't know, it's hard to ignore someone who's clearly in need of help. You're such a nosy person. Facts! This is actual facts. My girl is so fucking nosy. She can't stay in her own lane. I huff. So what if I am? I wouldn't have helped you in the first place if I wasn't like this. Suddenly, Caine shifts his weight on, and his shoulders bump into mine. His red hair tickles my cheek. Thanks, he mumbles. My insides feel like syrup all of a sudden. For coming tonight. My breath gets stuck in my throat. My fear and anxiety about our current situation is replaced by another nervous feeling. A more lighthearted warmth covers my body. I clear my throat. No problem. The door suddenly opens up and a doctor walks out. Both Caine and I jump up from our seats. How's Chelsea? I immediately ask. She's stable. Luckily, everything passed without any complications. She's still shaking, a little lethargic from the blood loss, the doctor explains. She will need a ride home, the doctor continues. What happened though, I ask. The doctor takes in a deep breath. Your friend had a miscarriage. Ugh. It's pretty common for pregnancies to end up in miscarriage in the first 3 months. Most women don't even notice they were pregnant in the first place. Caine and I give each other a worried look. Chelsea was pregnant. But like I said, everything seemed to pass without any complications, so there's nothing we can treat her for. She just needs some rest. The doctor smiles at us and maybe have a friend near her for support in this difficult time. I'm still not over the fact that she called me a bitch, bro. I remain quiet. I know I'm not Chelsea's friend and neither is Caine, yet here we are. She can take her time getting ready to leave. If you have any further questions, you can call for any of the nurses around here. The doctor bids us goodbye and walks away. But damn, bro, that still sucks. I kind of figured it was something like that, but I didn't want to assume. Caine arches both his eyebrows at me as soon as we're alone. What do we even do here? He asks, worried. I guess the decent thing to do is check up on her and take her home. Caine and I enter the room again. Chelsea's sitting upright on the bed, her legs dangling above the floor, her hands lying in her lap with her eyes fixated on them. When she notices us entering the room, she looks up in shock. I know I don't like her, and she's been nothing but rude to me and Caine both. But seeing her all broken like this, I push our differences aside. How are you feeling? I finally ask, breaking the silence between all of us. Like hell, she says with a sniffle. Chelsea wipes away some of her eyeliner that runs down her face. She then puts up a tough act. The both of you better not blab your mouths to anyone about this, she warns us. Caine glares at her, like, I even want to get involved in this mess. You and Thomas can do whatever you want. Chelsea flinches when she hears the name Thomas and suddenly grows quiet. Don't tell him, okay? She asks in a worried tone. Did he know? That you're pregnant, I ask. Chelsea shakes her head. If he knew Chelsea stopped, her voice getting caught in her throat. He'd what? I press on. Nothing, she says, wiping away a tear from her eyes. Nothing. I'm beginning to believe there's a whole lot of something going on, alright? But Chelsea simply doesn't want to say it. It's not like we are best friends that share secrets or anything, so I can understand her apprehension. Just promise me you won't tell anyone about this, she asks in a quiet voice. Caine crosses his arms over his chest and turns around. Whatever, he mutters. Chelsea looks up at me with those panda-like eyes. I can't say no to her. Well, I won't tell anyone, I assure her, so let's call a truce for now and take you home. A ringtone suddenly goes off in the room. It's coming from Chelsea's purse. Slowly she fishes out her phone and checks the screen to see who's calling. Even I could tell from here that it says Thomas on the caller ID. Chelsea stiffens up, her face paling to an eerie white. The ringtone continues to play as Chelsea stares at her phone with dead eyes. However, it's Caine that swiftly presses the red button on her phone, rejecting Thomas's call. What are you doing? She gasps at him. What you're thinking of doing, duh. Caine replies in a matter-of-fact tone. Frantically, Chelsea starts tapping on her screen. I can't hang up on him. He'll what? I ask once more. Chelsea lowers her arms and slips the phone back into her purse, seemingly defeated. Never mind, what's done is done. Clear, that's something Chelsea doesn't want to talk about. Are you in an abusive relationship? Because the way she was saying don't tell him, and then the way she panicked when this is toxic. Come on, let's get you home, I offer. Chelsea finally slips off the bed and fixes her hair. It's strange to see her fixing her appearance when her makeup is smeared and her dress bloodied, but I guess she just needs to try and feel a little normal right now. We all leave the hospital together. Once Chelsea has been dropped off at home, we take the taxi back to my house. Caine's clothes are still here, so he tagged along as well. His clothes are haphazardly thrown across my crafting table. I sit down on my chair, kicking off my high heels with a deep sigh. This is not how I planned our evening to end. The mood feels heavy. You think Chelsea was hiding something? I asked Caine. The way she was acting, you mean? Yeah, it was suspicious. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't Thomas who got her pregnant, he says flippantly. I don't think so, bro. I want to berate Caine for saying something so crude, but I can't say that it doesn't make a little bit of sense. Not wanting to let Thomas know about the miscarriage, she may have been seeing another man behind his back. On the other hand, we don't know the whole story. It's not like those two have any sort of morals, you know, he scoffs. That's rich coming from a thief, I point out. That's different, he says with a pout. Anyways, I'm gonna change. Can you know, Caine walks his finger into a circle, indicating he wishes for me to turn around. You saw me naked today is only fair. No, I don't think the mood is right there right now. I spin my chair around so I'm facing the computer instead. Behind me, I can hear Caine stripping down. You can keep the clothes, by the way, I say out loud. Why? Can't you sell them? I can't help but chuckle at the prospect of selling men's clothes and aromas. I mostly sell women's clothes. Besides, they're custom tailored for you. Keep them. Speaking of gifts, I touch the earrings that I'm wearing, the ones Caine gave to. Do you want the earrings back? Caine is suddenly all dressed in his regular clothes and standing next to me. No, his eyes stare intensely into mine. They're a gift. Suddenly I'm starting to feel a little bashful with him so close staring down at me. I look down at my desk. Okay, thanks. You made them, right? They're really cute. Not knowing how to handle compliments, Caine simply turns around and leans against the edge of the desk. I can see the bracelets he wears on his wrist. They also look handmade. They look nice on you, he mumbles in a quiet voice. Immediately, my heart leaps into my throat and I feel like I'm choking on air. A compliment from Caine. I stare up at him, noticing Caine is looking away from me. Dress, he says quietly. Huh? The dress too. He huffs embarrassed. Looks nice on you. A burning prickle of fire spreads across my face. I'm instantly aflame with a red complexion. I look away to hide my blush. That was a sneak attack. I didn't expect Caine to ever say something like that. My heart is actually racing. It doesn't help that I'm instantly reminded of where Caine's eyes went when we were dancing together, making me turn even redder. Oh god, this blush won't stop. Grandma told me you should always compliment your date. I know you're not a real date or anything, but sorry for not saying anything sooner, he grumbles. I fan my face, trying my best to avoid looking at Caine, willing my blush to go away. Thanks, I say with a gulp. Oh, it's the cute music again. Caine seems oblivious to my predicament. Staring out in front of him, a silence stretches between us, and I manage to get a better control over my own face, the blush fading away. Caine brings a hand up to his face, then pushes it through his hair, taking a deep breath. This is not what I had in mind when I went to the reunion today. I don't think anyone could have foreseen what transpired today. What were you expecting instead? I asked him. I don't know. I wanted them to know that Caine struggles to find the right words. I spin my chair so I face him directly. Looking up at his stoic figure, I hold my tongue this time. I wanted to prove them wrong, he finally says. His cyan eyes flicker down to mine. There's a loneliness in them that he's always desperate to hide. He then tears his eyes away, looking straight ahead. His eyebrows are lowered as he tenses up just the slightest bit. That what they said about me isn't true. Place a hand on top of his. Quietly, I reach out to cover his hand with mine. Caine immediately flinches and looks down at me. I give him a comforting smile in return. Shyly averts his gaze once more, referring to look down at the floor instead, but I can feel his hand inch closer to mine, our skin touching even more. My heart suddenly aches for him. Caine looks up at the ceiling, letting out a self-deprecating huff. Well, it doesn't matter. In the end, they've got their own problems, their own set of issues. It's not like they even think about me at all. So what the hell am I trying so hard for? Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't try so hard for people that don't even like you, I point out. Pay more attention to the people that do like you. Caine removes his hand from mine as he pushes himself away from the desk, sauntering towards the middle of the room. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? He says sarcastically. He flicks his head back, shooting me a painful and forlorn look. It's not like there's anyone that likes me in the first place. He forces a smile. I even had to beg you to come with me to show everyone how not pathetic I am. In that moment, I have a sense of clarity. After tonight, I'm sure of it now. I enjoy being around Caine. There's more to him that meets the eye. In fact, I want to get to know him better. I actually want to spend time with him. Yes, and I'm ahead of him. You did have to force me to come with you. Caine stuffs his hands in his pockets. A case in point. And you're a pain in the butt to be around sometimes, I admit. You even steal jewelry. Caine grits his teeth at me. Thank you for that great assessment. Why don't you kick me while I'm down somewhere? He bites sarcastically. I stick up my nose at him. And you have a very foul mouth. Sometimes you swear like a sailor. What's your fucking point? He growls at me. But you can also be surprisingly soft and gentle at times. Today, you even showed me some courage. Caine's eyes widen and he immediately doesn't know what to do with himself. Once more, he's unable to handle compliments. Insults, that's something that rolls off his back. But when people say genuinely nice things to him, he has no idea how to act. It's rather adorable the way he's still so naive. So don't be a grump and say there's no one out there that likes you, because I do. I think you're interesting, and this is starting to feel a lot like a confession. And I like us... Girl, why'd you... No... I like for us to be friends, I finished quickly. And I feel my cheeks getting warmer. That sounded too much like a romantic confession, which is stupid. I'm just saying I like to be friends with Caine. And Caine isn't answering. And this turned kind of awkward really fast. I shift in my seat. Come on, at least say something. Don't leave me hanging, I mutter. Stupid, he stutters. Who goes around asking people to be friends? Only stupid people do. Caine's face is a deep shade of red. Oh no, I can't handle this. It's contagious. If it's so stupid, then why are you blushing then, huh? I point out, ignoring the fact that I'm turning red as well. Caine points out an accusing finger at me. That! You're too! You're redder. I argue back weakly. Caine's right. This is stupid. I can't believe I'm embarrassed right now. Shut up, he barks. The embarrassing stuff you say, so stupid, he grumbles as he turns around. He grabs the clothes he took off and quickly walks up to the door. I'm leaving. What? Don't just leave, how rude, I complain. But Caine has already opened the door and fled the room. Caine! I yell after him. I slump back into my seat, sighing deeply. After a while, the colors of my cheeks finally turns back to a normal shade. I don't know what just happened, but that was definitely too much for one night. Going to the reunion with Caine, dancing with him, finding out he's a little pervert, sticking up for me when someone else commented on my looks, saying I look nice in my dress. I trap my head against my desk. If it weren't for Chelsea, how would this night have ended? I sit there pondering on my thoughts for a while when I get jolted by my own phone going off. I got a text message. When I check it, I see I got a text message from Caine. Just seeing his name on my phone makes me feel giddy yet nervous at the same time. What does he want to tell me? Stupid. Aww. I grumble loudly, getting my hopes up for no reason. I turn on my computer to check my email and stuff before heading to bed. Surprisingly, even though I was expecting some hate mail from that troll, my inbox is relatively empty. No sign of the troll. Oh, wait, the troll is Caine? See, I thought it was Caine at first, but then they threw in the Kevin, and then I thought it was Kevin. Who's the troll here? I guess today the troll took a break. Something's not lining up. Something's not lining up here. Anyway, this is where we're gonna end today's episode off. Thank you guys for watching. It only took us like 13 chapters to finally get some kind of romance feelings happening. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.